Alright, boys and girls, today's lesson is lesson 4-1. And our lesson is called Make Place Value Drawings. So, first I guess I'm going to push this aside a little bit and talk about place value. At the end of third grade, you should be able to really know your place values. Some of you might already know them, so that's a good thing. So basically, we have our ones, we have our tens, we have our hundreds, we have our thousands, we have our 10,000s, we have our 100,000. It's a little sloppy, but you get the idea. And then our next one is millions. We won't talk too much about millions for a little bit, but this just gives you a general idea of what we're working on today. So I'll kind of push this aside, and I will grab our grid for the day to kind of give you a better understanding of what to do when you are drawing them, when you're writing them, when you're writing place value, when you're making the drawings, place value drawings. So I start with the easy one. And this grid has 1,000 dots on it. Okay. So if I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, my drawing, if I said my answer was just 6, this would be my drawing. My drawing would look just like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those look like sixes. They don't mean to look like sixes. Those are just sloppy writing by me. Okay, when you write a single, when you write just the 1 for the ones place, you represent it with 1 dot. In this case, my answer was 6, so I'm writing it with 6 dots. If I went on even further and made 7, 8, 9, 10, I would have 10. We don't write 10 dots for 10. What we do is we write a line, okay, almost like a stick. Okay, so a stick, one stick would represent 10. Okay, so in your notes, make sure you're writing the stuff down that a 1 is represented by just a dot, a 10 is represented by a stick, and that brings us to the next one, because you know that there are 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 tens in 100, because 10 times 10 is 100. You know 10 tens is 100. So you know 10 of these sticks represents 100. However, we don't write 10 sticks. What we do is we make it easier. We put 1 square. Okay? So 1 square represents 100. So then you'll know that there are 10 sticks inside of it. So let's go on to the workbook page. This is just a quick refresher. I'm sure you did a little bit of this in 2nd grade. This would represent ones, tens, and 100. Okay? So let's get out your first workbook page. So turn to page 217. Let's double check that. It's your first workbook page in 4-1. So it is page 217. Okay? So, knowing from your notes you just took, and I'll kind of keep them up here too, if you looked at number 1, it says write the number for each dot drawing. Okay, remember, there are sticks in here, so each stick equals 10. So you have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. You have 8 tens with, let me count the ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 ones, so your answer is 87. The next one, it has sticks, but they're surrounded by a big square. That big square tells you that there are 10 sticks in there, so that means there are 100. So I would start, for the answer, I would put 1 in the hundreds place, then I have to count my tens and my ones. My tens, I have 2 tens, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 ones. So that gives me 124. Go to the next one. It says write the number for each place value drawing. This is different. It doesn't start with a big grid with a bunch of lines in it and squares in it and circles. This is just the symbol for each. Okay, you all know that the squares equal 100. There are 2 of those. So we'll go 200. And I'm going to put the lines after because it tells me I need 2 place values after that. Next, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the sticks. That's 7 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the ones. 7 ones to give me an answer of 277. Okay, this is what I want you to do. I want you to do 4, 5, and 6 on your own. In order to do that, you need to pause it. So once you're ready, hit pause and work on it on your own. Okay, hopefully you, hopefully you unpaused it. This should be pretty easy stuff. You know, here you have 1, 2, 3 hundreds. I know I need 2 more numbers after that, digits after that. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens, and you have 1, 1. That doesn't represent 0, that represents 1 single unit. For number 5, we have 6 100s. So I'm going to make my 2 lines to make it easier for me. Then I have 2 tens and 3 ones. Next I have 1, 2, 3, 4 100s. I have 4 tens, and then I have 3, 4, 5, 9 ones. This here says make your own drawing for each. I'm going to do the first one, and I'm going to make you do your own for the second one. Okay, the first one says 86. So let's start with the biggest digit is an 8. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I have 6 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That equals 86. I want you to pause it, do the other one on your own, then unpause it. Alright, so hopefully for this you said, okay, I have 5 100s, so I'm going to make 5 squares. 3, 4, 5, and then you have 8 tens. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you have 7 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hopefully that's the picture you drew. If not, you'll get there because it's our first lesson in Unit 4. So what I want you to do now is I want you to turn to the next page. We're going to try to get through as much of this as we can, and then you'll work independently for the rest of the time. It says write the number for each place value. Here we introduced a new place value, okay? Because we have no idea what that mark is. That isn't a 10. I know it looks like a stick, but it's actually a long, almost a big stick, but it's a rectangle standing up on its end. So that is a new place value we're introducing. That's the thousands place. The reason why is I'll bring up the original, if I can reach it up here, unless I got rid of it. Oh, don't want to do that. Alright, let's get all this stuff out of the way. Alright, so this whole sheet is 1,000. 1,000 will have 10 squares in it. Okay, so if I were to stack up 10 squares, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That would give me one giant rectangle standing on its feet. Okay, notice that's what these marks are. These marks, these big sticks, represent 1,000. With that said, this shouldn't be too hard. Okay, all we're doing is we're working with another place value. So we have 1,000, so we're doing 1, then we're going to do 1, 2, 3 lines after, because we know there has to be 3 digits after it. Here we have 2 100s, we have 3 10s, and then we have 3, 4, 5, 8 ones. Okay, pause it and do number 10 on your own, then unpause it. Alright, so you should say, okay, I have 1,000, and you have your 3 empty spots. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh, I almost got tricked in here, okay? There are no squares. There are none of them. So that tells me I actually have 0 here. It's very important to put that place value there, or put that digit in there, because if you don't, your number's going to change dramatically. I'm going to show you that in a second. We have 9 10s and we have 3 1s. If you write it incorrectly and you do 1 for the 1,000, and then you go 9 next, and then 3 1s, your number is only 193. That's why it's important to write these lines after you find the biggest place value. Biggest place value is 1 for 1,000, and that means that there should be a hundreds, a 10, and a 1 after it. In this case, there are no hundreds, so you put 0, because there's none. But then there's 9 tens, and there are 3 ones. Do not be tricked, so it's always good to double check your work. If your answer is 193 and you looked and said, well, hold up, there's 1,000 right here. How's my answer only 193? Then you'll realize that there were 0 tens in there. Or 0 hundreds in there. All right. So what I want you to do is I want you to work on 11, 12 on your own, and then 13 through 18. I want you to, it says write numbers for word names. Oh, okay, this is kind of simple. It says 82. All you really need to do is you need to write a number for the words. So the number 82 is 82. Should be really easy here. So it might be a little tough when you get to 18. But that's what I'm going to have you do. I want you to work on 11 through 18 on your own. You are now done with the recording. So work on that on your own so you can work, move away from the Chromebook table if you'd like, or whatnot.